Have you accepted survival dispatch as your last stop for survival knowledge and wisdom?
Just trying to help, man. They're closing down all the highways, they're detaining people, and my cell phone doesn't work. I've got to get back to my family.
Now we got to make distance.
Child trafficking and even murder. One thing for sure, do not take your phone. Transmitter, receiver, guess who has the keys?
Oh, wow. Dig yourself out of here. Come on. This is critical, so don't slack off now.
It's gonna suck.
Things we do for y'all.
Ooh, that got deep fast. There it is, Hell's Church. We gotta cross the road, we gotta be fast.
Place over here that we can cross.
Could also be another source for you.
Limiting your exposure when you're in the city.
A big part of Gray Man is strategic avoidance.
Here we go.
Have you been drinking? The deer is my spirit animal. Not a whole lot in this dumpster.
Important to share failures with you as well.
We make lunch out of that.
No matter how many times I do this hill, it sucks.
Jesus help me, I sinned and I knew it. What's up, dispatchers? If you watched the EDC Essentials video, then you know today is challenge day. Now, what's the scenario? I don't know. They're closing down all the highways, they're detaining people, and my cell phone doesn't work. I saw what was happening, I got out of my vehicle and I just ran for the woods. Now, for the purposes of this exercise, we're just going to pretend like I don't have my vehicle, because if I had my vehicle, I would have a lot of resources that were available to me. All I have on me is the stuff that I literally had in the EDC Essential video. Now, let's give you a sit rep of where we are. Now, I've worked this area a ton, enough for me to actually have laminated copies of maps of this area. And I know that due south from here is a tent community where there's been a lot of drug overdoses and missing persons cases. We don't want to go that way. We definitely cannot go due east. Unfortunately, that's a straight line to my house, but hey, that's where all the action's happening, so we can't be in there. That is a non-permissive environment. Now, I'm going to bring you in real quick to take a look at the map just so I can show you where I'm at and illustrate a point. One point that I want to make for sure is that you can't just have one map, because what if you end up on the very edge of a map like we are right here? You need to have multiple maps of the area that you're in. Now, if you look at the map, we're right here, and if you look just up above it, this is actually the National Guard Armory, and just across Marietta Highway here is the Marshal's office. Here's one of those major highways I was talking about. This is Marietta Highway, and then over here is 575 running parallel to it. Now, our house is way, way off grid, and we definitely cannot go this way for sure. South is where the tent community is. Our best bet is to go northwest. However, we can't go into this area right here because, as you can see, there's a lot of buildings right there. That's probably a neighborhood. Our best bet is to go up into this area right in here, and we're gonna have to skirt alongside the Etowah River and then go west to get there. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip the map and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. This right here shows all the plats for the area that we're in. There's a lot of core property right in here. And then all this right here is water authority land. And then all of these highlighted trails that you see are actually trails that you can walk on. We want to be very careful that we don't run along these trails. We'll get into that a little bit further. One thing I know for sure from working in this area right here is that there's a lot of drug trafficking, meth, fentanyl, bath salts, child trafficking, and even murder. So it doesn't matter where we go over here, we're gonna have to be careful. We're gonna have to keep our head on a swivel. Possum mentality, situational awareness are key. Now, just to add a little flavor into the mix, New Hightower Church right here, this is actually one of the top 10 most haunted places in the United States. A lot of people would ask the question, well, why do you want to get up into here if all the criminals are there? Well, we're going into this area for the exact same reason that the criminals are going there, because we're trying to avoid people. One thing that I know for sure, I'm not getting detained. I don't even care what it is. I just know that I've got to get back to my family. I also know that this trip is not going to take one day. It's probably going to take multiple days. And the way that we're going to move, well, that'll be dependent on the situation and the scenario, our environment. I don't know if we're going to move in the day, if we're going to move at night. I know this area really, really, really well. And so that's gonna help out a ton. And you should also be practicing this kind of thing in your area. Now, one thing that sucks, I'm actually sick. I'm coming off of a week-long flu. Should I be doing this? No, I shouldn't be. Guess what? If you don't train when you're sick, when you're hungry, when you're tired, if you don't induce stress inoculation into your training, you just don't know how you're gonna react or act when it matters. One thing that's gonna be really important is being hydrated. So that's something I'm gonna have to look out for. I'm also gonna have to look out for mechanical injuries. It's real easy when you're super stressed out to get injured, so we've got to watch out for that. Number 3, possum mentality. If we see a resource when we're on our way, we need to grab it when we can. Because why? Well, Murphy. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. It's like when you need a resource, they're never available. So we got to grab them when we see them. And we can get all that stuff when we get out there, but for now, we got to make distance.
Gotta hurry.
All right, so we abandoned our vehicle and we're on the run, and we've got to create distance, and we need to put as much stuff in between them and us as we can. So here's the Etowah River and we've got to cross it. But before I do that, we're going to shed some insight into what a professional man tracker is actually looking for. Now, more than likely, it's not going to be a professional man tracker that's following you like me. It's going to be somebody who's just trying to find you, which means that we need to leave sign which is more than obvious where we went. Let me explain. The idea here is we want to confuse whoever is following us. We want them to think that we are literally going south when in fact, we're going to be going northwest. Now, the way that we accomplish this is by leaving the sign that we want to leave. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to clearly leave prints running down to the shore. I'm going to go across the river and I'm going to leave track and sign on the other side. Now, a lot of people think that trackers go step for step for step, and that's just simply not true. As a professional man tracker, what we actually do is we verify and then we radio ahead and we skip ahead once we have established direction of travel. We would never catch you if we had to go step for step. What I want to do is I want to create the illusion that we're going across this river and that we are going to head south, but we're not. We're going to go over there, we're going to make a bunch of sign, we're going to try to confuse them as much as possible, and then we're going to get back in the river and we're going to go north. Now, in the last video, I showed you this P&W Bushcraft stuff sack that's waterproof, and the only thing that I've got in there is what's in my pants, my 10mm socket and ratchet, because the reality is we might actually have to use it when we get over there. The rest of your stuff in your EDC, it literally needs to be as watertight as you can possibly make it. And one thing for sure, do not take your phone. There are fusion centers taking your data right now, and they are actually using locator services to create possibilities and patterns of behavior. Ask me how, I know. Phone should be the last thing that any of you take with you if you're ever in this situation, because they can use that to find you. Even if you have it turned off, they can still use it. It's nothing more than a transmitter receiver, and guess who has the keys? So while you're on the run, you've got to stuff this in the sack and we've got to get across. So you can't worry about all the other stuff because you just don't have time. Your EDC needs to be waterproof before you even get to this scenario. You're gonna get wet, so prepare for it. Oh, wow. That is big tree, big tree. Getting a little deeper. Careful not to get mechanical injuries when you're doing stuff like this. To the other side. Holy mud, now we gotta get out of here. Soaking wet. Yes, now we gotta haul ass. Come on. Dig yourself out of here, come on. For the part that matters, we gotta leave our tracks on a known southern trail. Now, when you get to a point where the trail, you're not leaving tracks anymore, then you wanna try to find an animal trail that's off to the side so we can double back. And I see a deer trail right there, and that's what we're gonna do is we're gonna swing over into that trail. Time to get back. We gotta cross over one more time. This is critical, so don't slack off now. It's very important. Now, when you get to the main trail, make sure that you do not step on it. Make sure that you jump over it as you go to the water. And make sure you definitely don't go back to the same spot. Oh, this one's a bad one. This is gonna suck. Oh, the things we do for y'all. Good God, at least the animals are using this. That was fun to come down, but straight to the water, no shore. Perfect. Okay, time to go. Holy muck. Oh, shoot. Ooh, that got deep fast. Probably should put the camera on the shore, JJ. Yeah, do that. Now we can go. Another. Wow, this stuff is so thick. And now we have another hill to climb. Yay. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Catch our breath for a second and secure our valuables. And then we need to verify which way we're going. There we have it. Everything that's important is nice and dry. Now we can put our stuff sack back in our dump pouch. Now I'm going to check my Wazoo button compass just to make sure that we are headed northwest. All right, and there's our new direction of travel. And what do you know? Right over here, thank God for animals, because here is an actual trail. Thank God for the deer, right? Oh, and look what I found. Superfood right there. Yes, we will take some of that energy for sure. Come here. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, free food. Man, and they're nice and ripe too. Score. Holy uprooted hog mess right here. They've destroyed it in here. Wow, talk about a deer highway. Man, this would be a great place to hunt if I wasn't doing this. This is actually perfect though. What do we have here? Squirrel. Oh yeah, get you some, buddy. Why does it always seem like a mile is a lot further than a regular mile when you're going through territory like this? All right, we're still on a deer trail. Let's keep going. We're still going northwest. We don't have time to mess around. We still gotta make tracks here. It's opening up a little bit, thank God. And something that deer are always good at is taking you to places where you can get water. Well, we came out a little bit lower than what I wanted to come out, but I know that we're at Hell's Church now because here is the old baptismal. Right here. Somebody, if you look it up, met their maker here back in the day. And we just got to go up through the woods that way and we'll actually get to the church. And there it is, Hell's Church, off in the middle of nowhere. And here's all that's left from when they burnt down the church. Supposedly you could hear organs playing in it and you could see red eyes from the inside, and there's all kind of folklore about it, but looks like somebody got rid of the inscription right there. So we don't know exactly what year it was burnt down then, but that's all that's left of it. My Gen X training is coming in. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, I drank as much as I could drink, and then I gathered some in my Wazoo water kit so that we can take some with us. Oh yeah, and here's a little trick. Take your Ranger bands and cut them in half, and they act more like rubber bands, so they're easier to like tie off, like in this particular case. Oh yeah. Now we can put that in our dump pouch, and we're ready to rock. And here's the old hanging tree you read about, and then the old gravestones and the markers. As you can see, there's a lot of just rocks, and I'm sure those predate the late 1800s. Just so many of them. And now we've got about a 3-mile hike through the woods, and I got a surprise for you. Let's go. Oh boy. Moderate pace, come on, moderate pace. God, I hate being sick. I'm like so out of breath right now. Oh, this is terrible. Wow. Now we gotta cross the road. We gotta be fast. Gotta get off this beaten path so we don't get seen. Oh, this is nice. Jeez, don't break an ankle. Hit this real quick. There's another deer trail. Start following it. Find a place over here that we can cross. And I see over there where the deer are coming in, and this looks like a pretty good place for us to cross. Man, awesome. That feels so good, actually. Can do this really fast. Okay, here we go. Yep, deer tracks. All right. All right, back on trail again. Oh man, wow. And look what the deer have carved out here for us. This is a main highway for them right here. Oh, this is perfect. Couldn't get any better. We just need to make sure that we check our direction of travel. Make sure we're going in the right direction every so often, verify. And it looks like the sun is on our right hand side, so that's good. Okay. Oh yes, this is what I'm talking about. I'll tell you what, I'm definitely dehydrated. I probably need to get some of those electrolytes and put it in that Wazoo water bag. I've also got a headache as well, but we do have that Goodies headache powder in our pocket, so yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Being sick is kicking my ass. We're making good time though. All right, let's go. No excuses. At least it's not clear cut in here. At least we can get through here pretty easy. It's nice. Okay, stay on course. Stay on course. And as you can hear, we're getting closer and closer to the city. We need to go ahead and put the electrolytes in here. I'm hurting pretty bad now. So let's see, there's my Goodies. There's my electrolytes. All right, put this up so we don't lose it. And first we're gonna open up these packages. And whatever you do, do not leave the packages here. Make sure that they leave with you. There's the electrolytes. The electrolytes to the bag. There you go. Roll that back up and shake it up a little bit. And take the Goodies with the acetaminophen and the caffeine. Which is good because I need a shot. We got to be like really careful. I'm starting to hear noises around me now. So got to keep our head on a swivel. Situational awareness. Really starting to feel it now. Still got a little further to go though before we get to the surprise. I drank a bunch of that. I'm gonna save just a little bit though. These bags are the bomb, by the way. You definitely should get one of the Wazoo water kits. They're awesome. Imagine if we didn't have it, like what I would have had to have done. I would have had to have made a container or found a container or whatever. Oh, there's just so much easier. Like, fits in my belt, fits in my hat, perfect piece of kit. I've said it before, that's probably my favorite like EDC piece of kit that I carry, just because it's like an instantaneous solution to a serious problem. Now we still have a little ways to go. This is the part where it gets hard because now we're gonna have to run through the city. So I'm gonna show you all some tactics to get through the city. And whew, this is where it matters. This is where you gotta kick it in. All right, here we go. Whoa, man, I almost got poked in the eye. Thank God that didn't happen. That's how easy you get an injury though. Well, you never know exactly what you're gonna find in the woods, but you can tell we're getting close because look at this old rundown place. Now this could be an option for a place for us to hide out, but security would be an issue, and I've got something better in mind anyway, so we're gonna just keep on trucking. Oh man, what a score. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Heck yeah, apples. I'm gonna grab a couple of those. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Look at this place. Never know what you're gonna find out here. Well, that's what it's all about, possum mentality. Grabbing stuff on the go. Let's check this out. Man, those are actually really good. Man, we've been lucky today. That's what I'm talking about. Now, when it comes to major highways, you can either go over them, under them, or through them. And I have pre-scouted out this location with the railroad tracks to make sure that I can get across 575 without running into too much trouble. Now, it's really important to do your scouting beforehand so you know where areas like this are. And as always, be careful when you're out here. You never know what's gonna pop out here either. Man, I love looking at art like that. It's just so cool. Don't discount railroad tracks as a place for you to go and access and use. That could also be another source for you. Once you cross though, don't be messing around. You need to get back in the thick. Now, for the purposes of instruction, I have come up this draw right here, and you'll notice that right up here is a racetrack building right there. And before I go any further, I just want to show you exactly where I'm at. I'm in a parking lot right now where there's a Planet Fitness and a Home Goods and a Hobby Lobby, you know, just strip mall shopping. And one thing that's really hard about being in the city is limiting your exposure. And so I want to show y'all something real quick. A lot of cities, if you look carefully, now you obviously have to scout this out, but you'll notice right over here, there's this big long row of pines. Now, as we come up over the hill right here, you'll see we're right up here at the racetrack, and you'll see there's lots of people here. And that right there is a major highway, and then there's more strip malls. But right here are all these pines. And the thing that's awesome about that is they use it for erosion control. And you can use this as a hallway to get you through the city, just like this. Now, you are limiting your exposure when you're in the city. So this is a good trick for you to keep in mind. So, God, there's a lot of trash here. Look at all this trash that's all through here. But this is a great way to get through areas like this. It's perfect, actually. Huh. Well, you never know where you're gonna find bamboo. We could actually use that for friction fire, but no fires right now. No fires at all. Now, if I step back out, you'll see this is open. There's actually two lines of coverage right here. You got all these evergreens next to these pines, and this pine thicket is perfect for us to go all the way down there. That's a long way that we can go. This is a perfect hallway or corridor for us to travel. Okay. You got to make sure that you glass the area that you're going through as well, because you never know what's going to be in here. So I usually stop and I look and I listen for quite a while. Always check 360-degree awareness. Now, another tactic that you can use is, you'll notice just behind this strip mall right here, there's all these woods behind here. And this is actually a really good place that we could move as well. And you can see there's trash everywhere. Normally where there's trash, there's treasure. So keep your eyes peeled. But look how thick it is back in here. This is perfect. This is a perfect area for us to hide out in if we wanted to. A big part of gray man is strategic avoidance. You stay away from people as much as possible. You understand with gray man that it's not just about blending into the people, it's about blending into your environment as well. And I'm gonna show you all this. This is behind that shopping center. I mean, look how much land there is that we could potentially run through. Now, if you look over there, there's all those houses over there, so we're not going through a neighborhood. There's plenty of woods for us to be able to skirt around the major city here. It's pretty nice, actually. You don't have to go on the major roads and through the major thoroughfare up there. You can hit areas like this if you look for it. Another thing that's cool is even in the urban areas, you can see where the animals are skirting alongside all the shops and stuff. And right here is actually a trail that the deer have been using. So once again, deer are leading us down the right path. Now, it's inevitable that at some point you're probably going to have to cross the street. You just want to make sure that when you do it, that you act like you're supposed to be there, and then you want to get off into the woods just about as fast as you can get there without bringing a bunch of attention to yourself. Look at all this sumac right here. We could actually make lemonade out of that. Now, understand that is not poisonous right there. That's actually good for you. I believe it's staghorn. I am feeling it. Oh man, this has been a long day. Got a little boost off of those electrolytes, but and that caffeine from the goodies. But man, I am feeling it now. Now we got one last thing to do. Sun's going down. We're about to lose filming light. But remember the key from the EDC video? It's time for that surprise. Let's do it. Here we go. One last run. It's hard to hold the camera in there. And there we have it. Our safe house in the city. It's not in my name. We know the owners, and I know how to get in the back without having to go past the cameras. This is definitely something you should think about if you live in a city. Check this out. I've got extra clothes. I've got my vest, and underneath all of this stuff, if you got up underneath the shelves, carefully hidden, I've got all my toys. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, my Walmart toy doesn't fire anymore. Oh well, the real deal is there. I've got enough packs where I could, my whole entire family. I've got things like sleeping pads and sleeping bags and wool blankets, and there's food and water. I've even got a toilet in here with the lid hidden so someone doesn't use it if they found it. And everything in here is carefully hidden. And tonight, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up this cot and we're gonna sleep inside. First glance, I wanted it to look just like an actual storage building. You actually have to start digging to find things like metal canteens and supplies that are hidden in bins all over the place. So, surprise. And man, I'm just glad we got here. Whew. I ain't gonna lie, putting this cot together, that felt like I was building a log cabin. I am really burnt. I haven't really eaten in 24 hours. I mean, I had that fruit that we had. I mean, we had the fruit that we found along the way. I'm getting stupid. I've really exerted myself today. Now, I do want to point out that, you know, once we got here, we could have shut the door before we did anything. And I'm going to show you something that's really cool about storage buildings, because right here, you'll notice that there's a timer. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on for 30 minutes. And as you can see, inside of here now, we have light. So once we entered it, we could have went ahead and shut the door. And you'll notice that all the storage buildings, like there's the one next to us, they have light. And I've got plenty of light to do whatever I need to do in here. So for about 30 minutes, I can make up my bed. I can go ahead and take my Book of Eli bath with my wet wipe. Yeah, golly, I can't even talk anymore. With my wet wipes. And I can go ahead and get into my change of clothes, which you'll notice are actually different than the clothes that I'm currently wearing. I'm wearing dark clothes, and here's a set of light clothes. So as far as a description that might have gone out about us, now we're gonna look different. This is a really, really good solution if you're looking for something in the city. Oh, there's a towel. Oh. 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 Oh, that's so nice to have. I ain't gonna lie, that is sweet. No, there's actually food in those boxes down there, but hey, we are not Bear Grylls. We are not gonna cheat. We're not going to the hotel and having shrimp, sleeping in the hotel and then coming back in the morning. We're actually doing this. That got me thinking about sushi. You know, when I went and God, I'm stupid. When I went and trained with Jason Salyer in one of his classes, he made us go all day. And then at night, he just brought up the topic of, hey, what does everybody want to eat? And you know what? Now, every time I do something like this, that's all I can think about. So you know what? I'm gonna have to like turn this back on him. I'm going to go ahead and start up a comment war. I think that 7.62 by 39 is far superior to the 5.56. Prove me wrong in the comments. Yeah, Jason, I'm talking to you. I expect to see you in the comments. Okay, we got to close this up now. You know, every time I go to put on my armor and I realize how heavy it is, oh God, I sure hope that I would not have to use this in a situation, because carrying this and then putting a pack on top of that and then having to carry one of these as well. And I haven't even put my radios on or my GPS or none, my ammo and all that stuff. Wow, you're talking about a serious loadout right there. After a day like today, oh yeah, I would be feeling it. I would not want to do that, but you know, I'd probably have so much adrenaline it wouldn't even matter. I'm just really disappointed that my toy doesn't work. Does the light work? Oh yes, it does. Have you been drinking? Anyway, these are things you need to be thinking about, and I'm just a little bit delirious from today. So I deserved a little playtime. Maybe I'm not done playing. According to the man in charge, all you need is a double barrel shotgun. Wait a minute, we gotta fire it through the door. Oh yeah, I'm getting delirious. Put that down. That feels so good. I am not going to have any problems sleeping tonight. That's for sure, but for now, I gotta get up. I gotta take my bath. I gotta change my clothes. I've gotta hydrate. And I gotta eat a Cliff Bar. Oh, thank God. You know what, guys? I think I'm done filming for today. I will see you tomorrow. Okay, dispatchers. We slept longer than we intended to. Let's go ahead and open it up now. I tell you what, feeling it a little bit today. What I've decided this morning though is that Jason is still winning because there's this little gas station up the street that has, you know, these country style biscuits and cold drinks with caffeine in them. And that Cliff Bar I ate last night, it's gone. Speaking of gone, I am getting too tempted. Hunger is a real strong motivator. We got to get out of here. What I did do, refilled my Wazoo bag. We'll stick that in our dump pouch, as Jason would say, on 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, don't forget the lock. Wake up. Bam. All right, let's go. Back to the woods. Another day. Okay, slow down a little bit. You know, something that's terrible about being in the city is all the trash that you find. Like, it's amazing to me how much crap you find out here in the woods. Holy spider webs. Yeah, spider webs. Ugh. Okay, whatever. It's gonna be one of those days, huh? Virginia creeper. Oh, there's some poison ivy right next to it. If you are allergic to poison ivy, you might want to be careful. And for some reason, all I can think about is food. Screw you, Jason. Sometimes the only way is through. I gotta get to some of that cow pasture land. We should talk about planned routes. You got to know where you're going. Poplar bark. Stop scrolling out. Come on. We got to go. This is stupid. You also need to have alternate routes in case you can't get through there. There's a trek trap. There we go. More deer prints. The deer is my spirit animal this week. One thing that I do know is that these Keens are like clodhoppers compared to my Zeros. Really hard for me to not make noise. So that's definitely an aspect of your EDC that you need to think about. And these are the kind of things that you'll never know unless you actually like get out there and train. And that's the whole point. You got to get out there and you got to train. And as you can see, here's another trek trap. We can go ahead and look at the deer tracks. Taking us right through all this nasty stuff. Step over that. We don't want to leave any more tracks than we have to, even though now it doesn't really matter. It's definitely stuff you should think about if we're talking about a real life scenario. So keep that in mind. Train like you fight, as they say. Okay, so I got out of the woods and I crept up behind this building, and as you can see, there's supplies. Look at all that fuel. You never know what you're gonna find in the city either. People can be irresponsible with their stuff. I mean, they just got supplies laying out everywhere, and thankfully there's no cameras. But don't discount dumpsters. Let's see what they got in their dumpster. Let's take a look for a second. Not a whole lot in this dumpster. Now, when opportunity knocks, make sure that you answer. All right, and we're about to come out of the woods. The sun has come up, and I want to talk a little bit about this area because this area right here is a choke point. And I gotta be honest with you, this is the part of the trip that bothers me the most. This is definitely something that concerns me. If I was in charge of a scenario like we're talking about, I would definitely post somebody here, and that makes it dangerous. The only workaround is literally about 5 miles out of the way. I think authenticity is really important here. You need to understand the reality of the scenario. It's not gonna be perfect, no matter how much you plan. There is going to be risk involved. If this was a real scenario, what I would do is I would hang out here, I would glass the area, and I would just have to go when I felt like the timing was right. But the truth is, I don't think the timing will ever be right for this scenario. So it's basically gonna be a wind sprint all the way across this bridge. Let's see if I can do it without getting caught. Damn it. That's reality. Unfortunately, we got caught. That just means I'm gonna have to do some more planning. You know, now that we're back in the woods and we've got cover, I gotta say I'm really bummed out about that. This is a teachable moment. Just because you run into a wall doesn't mean that you shouldn't continue to prepare and to plan and to train. You can't give up. You've got to keep going. And that just means that now we have a problem that we've got to work around. For now, I've just got to listen to my own advice, and I've just got to keep going. I think it's important to share failures with you as well, because you need to see that. I'm trucking. Oh boy. All right, back to the grind. You know, one thing that I can say about Georgia is, oh my God, it is full of hills. This is like a 45-degree angle, and we just got to get down the hill. So let's do it. And now that we're at the bottom, we're gonna have to cross underneath this this barbed wire right here. And this water is making me realize too that it's actually getting really hot today, really fast. It's extremely humid. And I think we need to take that other electrolyte packet and we need to put it into our water and try to stay ahead of the curve as much as we possibly can. We still have a little ways to go. Now, somebody's gonna ask, this is actually snake juice. This stuff is awesome. It's got so much potassium and salt in it, magnesium, and a bunch of other stuff that you need. You should definitely add this to your kit. Believe me, it's good stuff. Here we go. Oh yeah. Twist the bag again, shake it up a little bit. I'm actually gonna take the time down here to hydrate, because it's gonna be really important, because we're gonna be exposed to the sun here pretty quick. Okay, I don't wanna get a stomach cramp, so I drank about half of this. I'm gonna go ahead and seal this back up, and we'll add it back to the dump pouch. You don't always wanna use all of your resources all at once. Did I mention these Wazoo bags are awesome? Oh yeah. All right, let's get on our hands and knees. All right, so here we go. Underneath. Okay, there, unscathed. Now we're gonna follow this a little bit and then find us a good spot that I can cross this pasture. Here we are in the sun. Let's go through the pasture. Oh boy. Man, I can feel that heat already. There's an area where they actually removed about 40 head of cow, and everything's growing up now, which means it's prime for chiggers. That's great. I absolutely hate chiggers. Now, here's something we can definitely munch on. That right there is wood sorrel. You can see the little yellow flowers, and the petals have hearts. See the 3 hearts? If you were actually gonna catch some fish and cook it, you can stuff the insides of the fish with this, and it's got a really lemony flavor. Oh yeah, definitely one of my favorites out here. Now there's more hills, perfect. Now that we're back down, we've run into yet another fence, and I think I can get across this without ripping my pants. Down and over successfully. That's something to be grateful for. We still have pants. Now we've got another little hop, skip, and jump through a creek here. I'm just gonna go for it. There we go. This is a pretty nice open bottom. What? Another fence? Sometimes nature gives you stuff. If you were looking for kindling, check that out. Nature's already done the work for you. We don't need it right now because we actually don't want to start a fire, but always be looking out for stuff like that. Oh, nice. Here's a break in the fence where we can literally step over it. Oh yeah. Things are looking up, except for the spider webs. Hey little guy, we could definitely make lunch out of that if we were so inclined, but we're just gonna leave him alone for now. And it's all about risk versus reward, but man, I'm hungry right now. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but up there someone's jamming out. So that means we've got to be careful as we're going through this property right here. Definitely hear people up there banging around on stuff. I can't tell if it's one person or multiple people. Kick them when they're up, kick them when they're down. Okay, even with the Keens, I was able to slip through here pretty quietly, and we've made some distance, so now we can pick up the speed a little bit. Did I mention hills? Because we've got to go up that one to the next field. Even the deer are slipping on this hill. Sounds like a helicopter above us. If this was a real scenario, you would have to watch out for that sort of thing. Of course, there's another fence to hop. And of course, more sun. Anybody know what that is? Oh, there's a breeze. Oh yeah, bring it. It's the small things. It's the small things. If somebody says more cowbell in the comments, I'm gonna be pissed. And guess what? More fence. Actually, 2 of them. Whoops. Y'all are fortunate that you can live vicariously through us on here, you know, several hours without actually having to put the work in. And I definitely need to open the package. It's getting hot. It's not even the hottest part of the day yet either. And really, we just have one leg to go. I'm gonna make sure that I drink all of this time, because that hill is really gonna take it out of me. There's some construction going on just down from us. Can tell that we're getting back, so bottoms up. I'm still not throwing this away. Take my rubber band, put that around it, use our dump pouch again. Ooh, I got a head rush getting up that time. It's rally time. Okay, this is one of those 3 points of contact climbs, and I know all the FTFers and the survival dispatch guys are gonna be watching this. You'll have my permission to kick me in the balls if I decide to do something like this after I've been sick. It doesn't matter how many times I do this hill, it sucks. I swear to God, y'all better like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because man, I'm going through the ringer for y'all right now. Woo! Please make it worth it. I'm saying please, help us out a little bit. Okay, we're 1 foot from the top and the house is 100 yards that way. If you want to see more adventure style filming like this, then let us know in the comments. And after I rest up for a little while, we'll make it happen. As always, if you're honey smack digging the content, then get in the comments section and fuel the fires. Jesus help me, I sinned and I knew it.